Hey everyone, welcome to another live today. Today, the live is okay. Let you guys guess what live is about today. Let's give you guys know what we are going to do today. It's me all the time telling you guys. So let's see if you all can tell me what live is about today. First, hi to everyone. I can see there are a lot of people on YouTube today. Hi everyone, and I just want to apologize to the ones who were unable to come in the evening for the comprehension yesterday because the live was interrupted because of the internet connection. Sorry about that. And now let's get started. Please let me know what the live is about today. Let's see if you guys are aware why you have joined live today. And let's get started. Let's see if anybody else will know what live is about. Any idea anybody has? Let's see. Hi everyone. I think so you guys are not telling me what the life is about. Let me tell you guys, life is about creative writing today. So we are going to do creative writing. I don't know if you guys love creative writing or you don't like creative writing so much. If you do, then this is a life for you. And if you don't like creative writing, I hope after this life you all will start liking creative writing. So today we are going to tell you about some tricks and some techniques how to be as creative as possible. And the live about today is about the descriptive writing. I'm going to tell you how to write it, what is included, and I'm going to share some slides with you all with a particular topic. If you are new, you would not know what to do. You could see our old videos about creative writing, the way how we did. You all will be given one topic in the end, and you were supposed to tell me you will write a good creative writing for that topic and then email to us in our email address. And then from that creative writing, we are going to choose three winners. And that winner's creative writing would be displayed in 11 plus ALT group. So this is something good for you all to do it. And the deadline for submitting the creative writing would be the Easter Monday. So you have the Easter weekend to do it, and you could submit the writing by Monday. And then on Monday evening, we will be choosing three winners for the creative writing. The condition for that is you have to watch this video if you want to take part in the creative writing. So this is a competition time for you all for Easter break. I hope you all like it. Today is our last lesson for Easter. But don't worry, still be back with more lessons for you guys. And we'll be doing one lesson on Easter Monday, that's on Monday, before before you guys go back to school. So you can give me ideas what lesson you guys want. And then that's all for today. Let's get started. I'm looking at time. And again, there are three ways you all can join these live sessions. One is from subscribing to YouTube of Anishka's Learning Tuition. The second way of joining our live session is following Anishka's Learning Tuition page. And obviously, the third and the best one is joining 11 plus ALPS. So these are the three ways you all can join these live sessions. And if you get interrupted in any of these three cases, you can go to another one because you will see the live going on in all these cases. So the children who are joined on YouTube, I can only see YouTube messages today. I don't know why. I can't see any Facebook messages yet. So if you guys are ready, we can start sharing the screen now. And don't forget to like the video, all of you. It will give us more idea that you all are liking it. So we get started now. I can see there's lots of eyes going on here. Are you guys ready? Should I start sharing the screen now? Just give me a thumbs up, guys. If you're ready, I can just see you guys saying hi. Hi, everyone. A lot of hi going on here. Are you guys ready? Should we start sharing the screen now? Okay, let's start sharing the screen now. So if you look at the screen, first let me just tell you what the topic is. The topic is for today, descriptive writing is a diary of a homeless person. First of all, what comes in your mind when you look at this one, a homeless person? You must have seen there are lots of homeless people when we go out for the shopping mall and anything like that. You can see there are some people singing outside the shopping malls, or there are some people sitting there and asking for money. They are called homeless people. Basically, homeless people are the ones who don't have any place to live. So they're living in the streets, and these are the people which are called homeless. So let's get started with this topic. This is a topic we are going to discuss today, and I'm going to show you a lot of sites of people who are about this. So let's think about what might you write about. So if you think about a homeless person, what comes in your mind and how would you start your creative writing? I can see you all saying hi. So when you think about a homeless person, you always think about is waking up on a winter's morning, sleeping in a shop doorway. So basically, when you wake up, this is about a homeless person. You think about a homeless person. What is going on in their mind? Where do you find them? Basically, the homeless people, you find them waking up on a cold winter morning. It's so cold. All of you are sitting in your house. But these homeless people, they are waking up in a cold morning and escaping from the shop doorway. So this is the place where these people live, begging for food, drink or money just to warm up just inside. So normally when you see these people, what they normally do, they just ask you like, oh, we don't have any money for food, we don't have any money for drink, can you please give some money for us to eat? So they are begging, they're like beggars. They are begging for food, drink or money just to warm up inside, looking for your regular sleeping place after being attacked by other homeless people. So basically, what happens when a person is homeless, there are other people also who are homeless. They don't like that person taking their place. So obviously, these homeless people they struggle to find a place where they can sleep. So basically, they are telling you, think about you are one of the homeless person. How would you feel? Hi, Seven, I can see that you. So, what are these homeless people basically? We look at these homeless people. They, the descriptive writing is they are making you put yourself in one of these homeless people. I want you all to think now if you are one of the homeless people, how would you feel? Can you all write and write down in your own words if you are one of these homeless people, how would you feel? Let's start from your part. In each paragraph, you must talk about what you can smell, taste, touch, feel, see, and hear. You can you can even compare the memories you have had of your life in the past. So basically, one person is writing, if you're homeless, how do you have enough money for a diary? You know, a diary is £1. So if you have a diary, you could spend £1 of the money you got from begging and just get a diary and write about your how do you feel. So basically, when you're homeless, the sound system is not clear. Sometimes you make noises and sometimes you're okay. That's fine. Just try coming back again because you'll be fine. So basically when you're homeless, how would you feel? Just think about that. How would you feel when you're homeless? Yes, they do have a diary. Yeah, they do. Because when you're homeless, you might have a diary to see that. How would you feel? So basically, think about this and just think. I cannot hear you. Not again. Just think about it. Your voice is breaking. I think so there's something wrong with my home internet. Okay? I'm just looking at the voice system because it says that it's your voice is breaking. Okay, let's leave other voice. You will be able to hear me properly. Can't hear me. Uh, think about when somebody is homeless. How would you feel? In each paragraph, you must talk about how can you smell, taste, feel, and hear. You can even compare the memories you have had of your life in the past. So you could feel like if I was homeless, I would feel sad because I did not hear that I had that before. Yeah, that's right. Because if you're homeless, you will feel sad because you'll be sad thinking that you're homeless and you won't like it being homeless because when you're homeless, you will be thinking about your future. Your future will be really bad. So let me show you one of the pictures. How would it feel when you're homeless? Can you see that? Okay, let's see this one. So look at this person, this old man. Look at this old man. He is homeless. So this man is homeless. If you look at him, if you look at this picture, let me zoom in a little bit for you all. You can hear me now. I think the voice volume was low. Maybe that's why you were able to hear me. So, let me zoom in this picture for you all. If I was homeless, I would feel hopeless because I keep passing strangers wishing they could give me even one food. That's good. So this is something we have. I have put some of your points on the top. And remember, looking at this old man, how would you feel looking at this old man? Remember, this old man is just sleeping on the bench on the side. And when you see this man sleeping on the bench, how would you feel? And you're one of the strangers, one of the person. You, if I was homeless, I would feel stressed. Good. Because when you're homeless, you do feel. Look at this old man. If you look at this old man, how would you describe this old man? This old man is cold. If I zoom in the picture a little bit for you guys, you could see that. See, I zoomed in for you all. You can see that this old man is cold and looks like he's also shivering. Can you see it? If I was homeless, I would do this. Let me just put on some of your points on the top. Okay, that's fine. How would you describe this man? You can look at this man, he's feeling cold and he's sleeping on the bed. When you look at him, he's really cold. If you look at the way this man is sleeping on the bench, that's a good one. I will feel in the middle since the bench can protect me from some rain, but I do not have food, drink, and money. And here goes another one now. I would worry each night about not about the far future, but what I would eat today or if I can find any shelter. So basically, if you're homeless, you would feel like what's happening, and you would have felt like there's nobody to talk to because you're homeless, you don't have a house to stay. You rely on the people passing through to give you some money. These are the people who would give you something, give you shelter or something, and you're just sitting on the bench. Let's look at the next one and see what does the next me tell you guys about the old man. Look at this one. This is something normal. You can see when you keep passing, I'll feel sad and worried. I can't find shelter. Yes, you would. Look at this man now, the one which is sitting on the red. He says, "Please help, homeless. All my belongings have been stolen." But this is another man sitting outside. He's saying that all my belongings have been stolen, and he's saying, "Protect my whatever. I need help for all." I don't know what he says. Basically, he's asking for help from the people going through. So if you were the passing passenger, would you help this man? How would you feel? Now I'm getting you guys. How would you feel sitting in? Imagine you're like him. You're sitting there and you're begging around. What's going on in your mind? So remember, in creative writing, you all have to think about your five senses. How do you feel? How do you taste? You have to tell about your taste, your surroundings, everything, all your five senses. So you have to describe about your five senses whenever you guys are thinking about, if you're thinking about writing creative writing, you have to think about it. So what would you think about this man sitting here? So how would you describe this man? Do I need to write it in a chat? Yes, you need to. You need to tell me how would you feel. So you have to describe your feelings now. Let me zoom out a little bit. So you have to describe. Let me see if I can do it. You have to describe about this man is feeling. How would you feel? Let me just do the reason. So basically, you have to think about your to describe this man. You have to think about your five senses. You have to think about your five senses. You have to describe about your five senses. You need to describe how would he be feeling. Let me use a book to tell you about. I'm able to write it here. Let me just do a little break for you guys. So you need to describe. Basically, you need to describe about this man. How is he feeling? Okay, let me just write it down. I would feel very heartbroken for nobody giving me money and helping me. And one thing I want to tell you guys, like when are you describing something like this, you should describe in using a lot of adjectives. Try using a lot of adjectives to describe this man, how he would be feeling. So you have to get your feelings out. If I was one of these men, I would have felt ashamed of asking people to give me some money. But in other way, I was helpless because I am jobless and I'm helpless. I don't know what I would have done if these people would have not helped me. I would feel frustrated and sad because I feel like I'm ignorant and not doing any work. And obviously, you would have felt ashamed of yourself. So, how would you see yourself? So again, when you are describing yourself, how would you see yourself? You would have seen yourself like a helpless person, someone who's really helpless, don't know where to go. The only easy way for you is to sit down and just think. I would feel really depressed because he one is helping and not donating anymore, so I can't eat food again. So when are you sitting here? You're not thinking about food so much. You're thinking about what feelings you would have come in your mind if you were one of these beggars. What feelings would have come in your mind? How would you feel? So you could say that sitting like this, you could describe yourself sitting like this, and then writing, I would have felt ashamed, I would have felt this, that. So what would you do? I'm just looking on internet some ways of describing how would I describe that? Let me just see some ways of describing. So how would you describe a beggar in your creative writing, in your descriptive writing? Basically? Okay. Another way, what they have I found on the internet is something really good the way they have described him. They said that a description such as snobbish, dirty, etc., but they are not accurate to building a picture of a beggar. I would use words to describe a beggar that typically you would wish to avoid. One very pitiful, but also you also feel pity of someone. I got someone on Facebook has been really good. A lonely man looking for comfort. Yeah, this is something good because I want you guys to use some more words instead of dirty. Because dirty is the word all of you have used a lot of times. So you need to use something else now instead of using. I would only have a smell, make a hope because of the charities, because some charities are helping poor people by giving them food money, going to the for homeless population. I know they are, but how would you describe this beggar? I'm just looking at other words to describe beggars. If you were to think about the eyes of a beggar, you would say that the beggar was old, had shrunken eyes, and a red spot, a spot on his even feet. So let's write some things about the beggar, something from them. Let me see what I can use here. Yeah, I will use here. I'll use a different color because I'm using this color is invisible with it. Now you all can see it. So you could say that the beggar was old, or instead of old, we could say young because this beggar is young. He's not old. Was young, had dull, shrunken eyes, and a red spot on his fingers. And now you could describe his clothes. What clothes he was wearing? He wore thick clothes and of his one of his old shoes was higher than the other. He appeared to be in look at the way they have described him. So you could describe because they have described everything about him. His face was focused, mystery. So this is the way you could have described the beggar. So if you look at this one, the way I have described here, I saw this on the internet. This is the way they have described the beggar here. The beggar was a young, had felt drunken eyes and a red spot on his finger too. So if you have to describe a beggar, a descriptive writing is to describe the beggar in a way that as a reader, I like your creative writing. I mean, I like the way you describe. Basically, tell. If you look at this one, the one I have written, I have described everything. The beggar was a young, had dull drunken eyes and a red spot on his finger. He wore rag clothes. So this is first I the person has spoke about his parents, his eyes, what I told you, his feet, and the clothes he wore, and the way he looked. His face might be dull. So this is the way you could describe a beggar. So if you're already you had a beggar in your 11th class, this is the way how you guys would have done. I got another one here. Let me put that on. Maybe someone would give me some money or some food, a job at me, this, but I know the chances were very low. Who would help me? I am smelly, dirty, and I won't be able to pay them back. Maybe. That's a good one. So this is the way you all have to think about. Let's go on the next one now and see what this one is telling us about. They're saying that today is the worst day of my life. In this, they have given you the starters. How would you guys start? Today is the worst day of my life. I felt as if my heart had stopped beating. It was so cold. The sound of the traffic awoke me from my sleep. So in this, they're talking about the boy who is sleeping in the street. Can you look at that? So in this one, they are looking at the boy and he's saying that today is my worst day of my life. Why you think it's the worst day of his life? If you were him, what would you have done? That's the one. That's for the last picture you described, right? So what about this one now? Look at this one now. It's saying that today is my worst day of my life. I felt as if my heart had stopped beating. It was so cold. The sound of the traffic woke me from my sleep. So you could use any of these sentences to describe the picture. So it, now we are on the different picture, guys. Look at this one. You have been given starters. I felt as if my heart had stopped beating. It was so cold. Try completing the sentence or go on the next one. The sound of the traffic awoke me from my deep sleep. Why would a traffic wake someone up while they're sleeping on the ground? What do you think it is? I'm just looking at some words to try for you all. Try thinking about this. I'll give you guys a little music if you want. Try using any of these and try telling me which one would be good for you. If I have You need to complete any of the sentences with any of here. Then we can really have a different with. And also let me know which one you are doing, yeah? Also, please try using some adjectives, then just using that it's my worst day of my life because I'm starving. That try using some of the other sentences in this and little more adjectives to describe it. And think about it. Let me see if you guys can do it. Okay, let's try it now. If you're saying that, let's do in this one. Today is my worst day of my life as I had to sleep. Today is the worst day of my life as I had to sleep on the footpath where people were. So you could write for the first one. You could say that today is the worst day of my life as I had to sleep on the footpath where people were staring at me and passing by me without even helping me out. Because I am not he is remember you are one of them. So you are writing about how did you feel. Today is the worst day of my life as people were passing me in the dirty environment and nobody was concerned about me. You could write this one also, or you could write something like, he would not even have eaten food the whole day. Which one are you writing about? Remember, you are supposed to write any one of them. So it said that today is my worst day of my life. It's my worst day of my life as I had to sleep on the footpath where people were staring at me and passing by me without even helping me out. So, and the next one, you could say that I felt as if my heart had stopped beating. It was so cold. It was so cold. What else can you write in this one? I'm just thinking about adjective which I could describe in this one. It was so cold as it was so cold as ice. I had to lie down. Or you could say that it's so cold as ice. When I was beating, I was so cold as ice. I had no shelter. And you could describe something else about the shelter. So remember, in this one, I had used sorry, I used, look at the words what I used here. I felt as if my heart had stopped beating. It was so cold as ice and I had no shelter. So in this one, you look at that, I described the way how I was feeling. So you could use some of the adjectives also in this one. Try using some of the adjectives in your creative writing to be more creative as. Let me see other words what they have used. So you could also, there's another one you have written. Let's get that one down. Today was the worst day of my life. I faced so many remember, we are talking about the child who is lying. The child who is lying will doesn't look like the child has some job options or something. So you cannot write about the job options. You could write about as I said, no shelter, and I have no shelter. As I said, I had no shelter. My parents left me here. Oh,
I wanted to write food, but I think so it's coming on the other ones. It was, you could say that I felt as my heart had stopped beating. It was so cold as ice, and I had no shelter, and my parents left me here on the footpath without any food. So you could also describe like that, like the boy's parents have left him on the footpath uh, alone, and they have just left him there, and he has nowhere to go. So you could also describe this one. Let's see the other one. Have they done something here? It's again that child. See, in this one they want you to start writing the creative writing like that. Today is the worst day of my life, as I had to sleep on the footpath where people were staring at me and passing by me without even helping me out. And for the next one, you could say that I felt as if my heart had stopped beating. It was so cold as ice, and I had no shelter, and my parents left me here on the footpath without any food. So basically he is starving, if you look at that, and he doesn't know what to do because his parents have just left him on the footpath. Today is the worst day of my life as I did not get to eat or drink anything the whole day. It was freezing cold and I had nothing than a torn clothes. I felt that my heart had stopped beating. That's a good one. Let's just put some of your ideas out. Today was the worst day of my life. I was hungry and cold. So many people just passed me, not giving me a few kind words or one pea. All that I had to wear was the torn blanket. My parents were still gone. So if you look at the next picture now, the next one, what's happening in the next one? The child is smiling. So in this one, you could say that because in the first one, you saw that he was really upset because his parents must have left him or something like that. In the second one, he's smiling. Whatever the situation is, I have managed to live the way I am. And my smile is the one which gives me a way of living. Or I would say that I'm just thinking, what else can you say about this boy? You could say that I just want to change the words. Oh, I am happy with any. What's happening with my? I'm happy. I'm happy. I am happy with now what? I'm happy now, and I don't think you need to have. I don't know. This computer doesn't have one. Oh, I'm happy now. I don't think about that. I'm helpless, and I smile too. So you could see what I have written here. I have written, let me just put it up because I think so. My face is the one which is hiding it again for you all. Oh, what did I do? I just hit that away. So sad. Sorry about that. Someone copied me. It's fine. Today is the happiest day of my life. A random stranger gave me 20 pounds and some warm clothes, and I live another day. Or basically, what I was writing, which just rubbed away, I don't know why, and say that basically the child is happy or he's hiding is my his sorrows and worries in his smile. So basically, if you look at this one, what I have done is like the child is happy or he's hiding his sorrows and worries in his smile. So basically, he is happy. He's showing everyone that he's happy, but inside he is heartbroken that another day will come and he doesn't know where he needs to stay. So he doesn't know what is happening to him. Where would he spend another night? So maybe he's hiding something in his smile, or he is happy at least somebody has given him some clothes to wear and he will not feel cold. So you have to basically, if I say that, you have to describe the reason of his smile in this one, or you need to describe about the warm clothes he is wearing. So you could describe these two things basically. You could describe that the reason of his smile, describe about the warm clothes he's wearing. So you could describe these two things. You could describe that why the child is looking so happy. There are two ways you could describe that. Describe the reason of his smile, describe about the warm clothes he's wearing. These are the things you could describe. The child is happy or is hiding his sorrows and worries in his smile. You see that some beggars, they've tried that they're really happy, but inside they are heartbroken because obviously you don't know where you're going to stay in the night. You are worried about the weather. You don't know how the weather is. So the child might be worried about the weather. You're worried about the weather. Is the weather going to be cold again? And what food you will be eating again? So, what food will be that you will be eating again? So, these are the things you have to think when you're writing about any descriptive writing. You're thinking about the beggar. These are the things you have to think about. If you look at the beggar, how would you describe the beggar and things like that? Let me just put some of your points. When I was begging so much, a rich man gave me, I felt, I feel like I'm lucky as other homeless people are freezing, but I'm wearing thick clothes and carrying 10 pounds. Yeah, you can do. Let's see what the next picture tells you guys about the beggars now. I don't want to see this one. Let's look at this one now because you all are going with this one. What does this one tell you now? If you look at this one, looks like his mother is here now. The mother is back. Today is the best day of my life since somebody has given. Today is the best day of my life as it is a windy day. Someone give me warm clothes and money. Let me just put that one up for you. If you look at this one, if you were describing this one, you would see that look at the mother, she's so happy looking at the baby. Whatever happens in life, this picture tells you to carry on. Basically, this picture tells you about how much. So basically, this picture tells you that they are poor but they can live. Yeah? Or you could say that the mother is so happy looking at her babies. Let me do this one with the white one because I think so you guys can't see this. Now you all can see. So basically in this one they are telling you that the mother is so happy looking at her babies and looking at her babies, how much sorrow you have in life. Your babies, you're happy in life. So basically she is poor, she knows that she's poor. She's The mother is so happy basically looking at her babies. How much sorrow you have in life. If you look at your babies, you're happy in life. So basically, if you're poor and you have your babies, as a mother, you would be happy looking at your babies. You won't think about how poor you are. So basically, your biggest gift in life is your babies. I'm just putting some of your notes up now. I'm so happy that our mom gave us new clothes. Yeah, you could do that. Or another one is here. I give a poor homeless lady some money. I knew she had children sleeping on the right footpath, so I give the old lady 100 pounds. Uh, all of you are doing it right, but I can't see any of you using any descriptive. You're not trying to be using any of your objectives in it. You are just telling me basic things as a mom, I'm this, blah, 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 that is. But in a creative writing, you have to be as creative as possible. I'm just thinking if this creative writing tells you something here. You look at this one. In this one, you can see that the baby is sleeping and the mom is looking at the baby and smiling, and the other baby is looking and thinking about his future. Maybe this child is more concerned about his future. He's more concerned about his future. If you look at this, it looks like the child is thinking about his future. Yeah. She came back with a smile to see her kids. Her been very supportive. Oh, I give the lady, this is something, a lie is going on here. So much money to a lady. So we can try doing another one. Let's see this. I felt sorry for my children. I wish that I could give them a better life. I hope they grow up. I felt sorry for my children. I wish I could give them a better life. I hope they grow up to more successful than I could ever be. But I will give them all the love I could. That's a good one. And there's another one now. I don't know what the mysterious future will bring for us, but as for right now, we are doing okay. My baby petted me. I smiled at him. Good. Now you guys are using more of your objectives in your creative writing. That's good than using a normal language. Remember, when you use a creative write when you're writing creative writing or descriptive writing, anything you're writing, you have to just keep thinking about being different from others. You cannot write the same things what others do. Let's look at the next picture now and see what that one is saying. I'm going to think of another one. I just want to go with that baby one. Let's see, because there are lots of beggars in this one. What about this one now? What do you think about this one? Sitting again on the footpath. This is your last one for today. My baby petted. What I want you guys to do now is remember, we had told you I'm going to put this one in 11 plus ALT group. I'll put this one. This is the one I want you guys to do. I'm going to rub what I have written here. I'm going to use a razor now. I don't think so. I can rub it now. Okay. In this one, I want you to start your creative writing. This is your work, what you guys have to do. This is your creative writing. You all have to do it for me. Is this? You could use any of the starters to write about this boy sleeping here. So, this is the task what you guys have to do. Today is my worst day of my life. You could start with this one. Or you could start with this one. I felt as if my heart had stopped beating. It was so cold. Or you could start with this starter. The sound of the traffic awake me from my brief sleep. So you could use any of the starters from any of these three starters only. And then you have to write about a descriptive writing. You have to describe it really well. He doesn't have a bed to sleep because remember, he's a beggar. So you all have to write this, and remember the email address where you all have to email it to get certificates is this one here. That's the email address. If you guys can copy it down. So this is the email address where you guys need to email the creative writing. So try to be as creative as possible again. And as I told you guys, try using as many adjectives, similes, and try to write down, like, you need to basically describe this picture. Today is a think about you are this boy here who is sleeping. And then you can start writing your creative writing. Today is my worst day of my life, as I had to sleep on the footpath where people were staring at me and passing me without even helping me out. And then you could describe the boy a little more. And how did he feel? Remember to use your five, whatever you say, five senses. What tense do we have to write in? It depends on you. You could write in a past tense, or could you say that today, because they're saying today is my worst day of my life, should be a present tense. because they are not telling you about past tense. If you want to write in past tense, you would have you could have you could write this one. The sound of the traffic woke me up from my brief sleep. I still remember the sound of the traffic. You could write like that. I could still remember the sound of the traffic which woke me up from my brief sleep when I was small and I was homeless. Something like that. So with that one you could write that. And in the other one is like, I think so, if you're writing about today, that would be a definitely would be a present tense. You cannot write that one in a to be have to write in future tense. You cannot write about in future. It could only be past tense and present tense. If you're writing past tense, you could write about the third one. The sound of the traffic woke me up with my brief sleep. So this is the email address. If you guys want to write it down, the email address. This is the email address you guys. So we're writing about the last photo. You're writing about this one, the picture here, and you're using any of the three sentences to start. This one here. So we are done for today now. I hope all of you like the class. And remember, we can have another class if you guys want on a Easter Monday. But again, you all have to tell me what topic and what subject you guys want in. She loved my intro. That's good. You like something for a change. So, what topic you guys want? We can have a maths one because maths one is the one I think all of you really love maths. And I wish all of you a very happy Easter and don't have so much of Easter eggs that you spoil your teeth. So, just have limited Easter eggs. What else can I tell you guys? And happy Easter to all of you. And I'll see you for your last class for and then we can have the weekly classes on a Monday for you all after Easter is over. This week on a Monday we can have it in the morning, except that from next week we can have it in the evening at 6 o'clock when you guys are back from school, you have settled down, and then we can continue having our classes in the evening because I think all of you love the classes so much. It gives us encouragement to keep continuing these classes for you all. Happy Easter. Remember not to have a lot of Easter eggs. Limit yourself. You don't want to have go need to go to the dentist after that. Happy Easter everyone. And that's all for today and I'll see you guys back on a Monday at 12 o'clock. Bye.